Hey, how's it going? And today I wanted to explore enumeration and enumerators, and I also wanted to talk about the spawn prop result. And you'll find in verse there's a number of enumerators set up like this. What I have in the scene right now is I just have a trigger device and a verse device, and I do have a creative prop or a prop available that I'm using here. And it's just going to spawn in one item. I've got my prop creative asset here, and then I have a trigger device, and then I have a location kind of to start with here, but I'm going to override that location. What I have down here is I have set the location and I've given it some really crazy number on the z-axis. So I'm wanting this to go out of bounds. To spawn the asset, I have it where I'll step on the trigger device and it's going to call this function here, and it sends in the agent. And then here's our spawn prop, and then I'm sending in the prop, and it needs a transform. And I don't have to put in everything. I can just put in the location. I don't have to put in the scale or rotation here. That's why I like this transform. Here's the star of the show. If I click on spawn prop, you'll see there's this spawn prop result, and you'll notice that it's an enumerator. And so if you've used overlays or if you've used UI input, you may have used an enumerator and not even known that you were using it. But we access the element or the item in the enumeration with the dot operator. You'll see here that there's 5 categories. There's OK, unknown error, invalid spawn point, out of bounds, invalid, I guess that's 6, invalid asset, and too many props. And you don't have to use all of these. You can just use the ones that you feel might be likely to happen in your situation. When we spawn a prop, let me go back here for a second. We spawn a prop, you'll notice that it returns a tuple. You can think of a tuple as an array with mixed data types. So it's going to send us back an option of the creative prop and then the spawn prop result here. So this is in the second position of the tuple, and this is the first position. But like an array, this is be the 0 position and this is the 1 position. So if we come over here, when I call spawn prop, I create this identifier called results, and this is a tuple. And I'm primarily interested in was it successful or not. By going results 1, I'm accessing spawn prop result. What I can do is I can basically make a reference to the spawn prop result, the unknown error, and if my result equals this, right, then I know that it's an unknown error has occurred. And then I can just do this as else if statements. You might do this as a case expression. There's different ways to set this up. But basically we make a reference to the spawn prop result and then the dot operator, and then whichever item that you're interested in knowing about, it was successful is okay. So if my result equals that, then I know that it was successful. Let's say I was interested in if I got an unknown error, it was successful, or it was out of bounds. So those are the 3 things that I'm interested in. If I wanted to put all 6, I could else if it and add those 3 other categories. So if I come here on spawn prop, you'll see we have those 6 categories. But let's say I'm not interested in all those. Like I know I've got a valid spawn point, I don't need that. And I know I'm not going to have too many props, so I'm not going to use that. But let's say I'm concerned about an unknown error or whatever you're interested in knowing about. Then you would just include that in your statement. And so we're just putting in the logic. If that's what we get back, then we have to print out. This is what we want to print out. And like I said, there's different ways to do this, but this is the main thing, is how you would access it. And then what you would do with that information here. And then if we want to know success too, because if we have a creative prop, then it's going to come back in our option container. I can access it here by result 0 and query it. And if there's something in there, then I can know that the item spawned. If there's nothing in there, then I know it's going to fail and jump to else and that something messed up. I probably messed something up. So anyway, that's it. So what I'm going to do is we're going to run this to show you that this works. We're going to give it some crazy coordinate here and spawn it outside of the island boundaries. So let's do that to start. And let me just build that verse code here. And I'll push those changes. And now let's go into the game. We'll hit start game. And like I said, this only spawns one item. So I'm going to come over here, and we're not going to see it. Well, we're going to get an error is what's going to happen as soon as I cross that. So let's cross it. You exceeded the bounds. You probably messed up. So, so I messed something up. Okay. So let me just end the game here. And let's jump back into that code here and fix that. So I'm just going to give it 100 so it spawns pretty close to me. So let's do that and build that code here. Push the changes, and let's go ahead and start the game and see what happens. So this should spawn in right near me here. So let's come back over here. And you'll see the message appear briefly, just for, I think it's 4 seconds maybe. I cross. The item spawns in and it's success. So I hope you found this of some help. So anyway, take care, have a great day, and I'll talk to you next time.